food and fitness lover, well, you've landed in the right place. I'm Chef Tina Martini, but you might know me as the Medicine Chef. Well, welcome to Tina's Ageless Kitchen. We're cooking the book, as you know. We've been cooking all kinds of great things. And guess what's coming next? The most favorite, that's right, cheesecake. Oh, it's not the regular cheesecake. You know we're in the Ageless Kitchen. We're gonna do a cashew cream cheesecake that you are gonna be amazed by. Even all the cheesecake aficionados out there have told me it's the real deal. So turn to page 62, chefs, and let's get going. The first thing we're going to do is put a delicious crust together, and you're going to see in your book that there's a couple different options. There's a delicious raw crust that you use dates as your binder, but today we're going to go with something a little more traditional, and that's our graham cracker crust. So I've got some really great gluten-free graham crackers here, and I'm just going to pop them in a Ziploc bag with a little bit of the coconut palm sugar. Now, what do we know about the coconut palm sugar, chefs? Well, it's all the essential minerals, isn't it? So this is what your mini muffin pan, or you can do it in a regular size muffin tin, is going to end up looking like when you've got your cheesecakes done. No need to grease the pan or anything. They'll pop right out, and we'll plate these at the end together. I've got all the graham crackers and I've got the coconut palm sugar in, and all I'm going to do is just break these down really quickly with the rolling pin. Now, I've had a lot of messages from you that say, I don't have a big kitchen full of fancy equipment. I don't even have a food processor. And you know what? That's okay. You don't need a bunch of fancy equipment. We can get this done perfectly and really quickly. And it's a little bit of kitchen therapy, isn't it? So go ahead and take out all your frustration on your graham crackers. And whatever ones you like. I just happen to like these, and they just happen to be gluten-free. All right, so we've got the coconut palm sugar. That's going to help and act as a little bit of an abrasive to help break the crackers down. So you can see that we've got our crumbs going just perfectly here. If there's a little bit of a piece here and there, we can just break it down as we're mixing the coconut oil in. So let's go ahead and get this stuff in a bowl. Perfectly done. And so fast and easy. And we get to take a little bit of our frustrations out, don't we? All right, so I've got some melted coconut oil, and I've got the extra virgin, cold pressed, beautiful coconut oil. Now remember, the coconut is very high in lauric acid, and lauric acid is both an antimicrobial and an antibacterial. We have actually seen cases of Alzheimer's reversed with the application of coconut oil into the nutrition program. So there's big news on the horizon for our Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, and our Alzheimer's dementia with the use of the coconut oil. All right, so I've got a little bit. Let's just pinch it together. It's not holding, so let's go ahead and add just a little bit more of the oil. And all you want to do is get it so that it's moist enough to hold together. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla, and I know that's different. I've not seen any vanilla in any other of the cheesecake type crusts. So we're going to bump it up a little bit. We're going to level up, as it were, and put that vanilla in. And vanilla offers a lot of the antioxidants that we need for a healthy life as well. Oh, that smells so good, chefs. And you can see, yeah, we've got a little bit of pieces of the graham cracker left here, but that's not going to be a problem at all because the oil is going to help bind everything, and we're going to put it in the freezer, so it's going to firm up beautifully. You're going to be able to pop it out and plate it just perfectly. All right, so I've got one of the parchment strips here already cut, and we're just going to pop that right in. Now you can see it's a little bit long, so let's just take a little bit off. And actually, we can go ahead and cut another strip. Now, chefs, you can see that I'm using the natural unbleached parchment paper here. Remember that chlorine is one of the leading causes of arteriosclerosis, or hardening of the arteries. So if we have an opportunity to keep chlorine out of our diet, out of our water, out of our parchment paper, then we want to do that and keep the arteries in the heart nice and supple. All right, so I've got a little tag here, or a little strip, and I'm just going to push it down and bend this back so it'll lay over. And really, it's not a perfect science. Just have fun. It's like a little crafting project. And then we're just going to pick up a little bit of our coconut oil crumbs with our beautiful vanilla. And this is a whole grain cracker here, so we're getting fiber. Did you know that we are still not getting enough fiber? And I don't understand that. So we've really got to work toward that 35 grams of fiber per day. But I've got a challenge with my food and fitness lover family, and we're going for 45 grams. Remember, it feeds the microbiome, which feeds the brain and your immune system. So we really want to make sure we're getting the fiber in, and the whole grain graham cracker is a perfect way to do that, and the kids will never know. All right, I'm just going to take my little shot glass here. We sure use the shot glass a lot in the Ageless Kitchen, don't we, chefs? It's a wonderful little tool. And there you have it. It's a perfect crust, ready to go. The oil is going to hold it together for us. We're going to pop it in the freezer and go ahead and make our cashew cream. So let's do that now. Now, the cashews, the research on cashews is mind-blowing, chefs. These are little nuts of miracle medicine. These truly are delicious medicine. Now, I've soaked these in good fresh water, not the tap water, something filtered and good, please, because they're absorbing the water, aren't they? So anything that's in the water is going to be absorbed into the food. So if we're soaking beans or we're soaking nuts to make cream out of, we definitely want to use the best quality water. All right, so these have been soaked for 24 hours, and they're the organic raw cashews. Let's go ahead and get that going, and we're going to do a little lemon zest. Now, cheesecake has a really nice tang to it, doesn't it? It's one of the signature flavors or palate experiences with cheesecake. So to give that really nice tang, let's go ahead and add a little bit of lemon zest and lemon juice. But we're not making a lemon cheesecake. We're just giving that signature flavor. All right, so just run your rasp right along. Let's cut a little wedge. We don't need much. It's, again, just to give the tang. If we were making a lemon cheesecake, then we would go ahead and maybe add a third of a cup of juice. Here we're just going to do a couple tablespoons, and that's going to give us that signature cream cheese flavor. I'm going to add just a pinch of the sea salt. I like a lot of vanilla. I'm really a vanilla hound. So I'm going to add a good teaspoon of vanilla. And then we've got our sweetener, which is some good quality organic maple syrup. Now, you use whatever sweetener you like. We use the coconut palm sugar in the crust. So we've got our whole grain graham cracker. We've got our high mineral, low glycemic coconut sugar, and that's really going to keep that blood sugar level. And remember, we talk about it all the time. Every disease known to man can be traced back to a mineral deficiency. So all of these things are very high in minerals. So I'm going to do a couple tablespoons here. Now, you'll taste the batter before you put it in and freeze it. Now, remember, we freeze them not only for a great warm weather summer treat, but it also makes plating easier. And just in 2 minutes, chefs, you're going to have the most delightful, creamy, tangy cheesecake and whatever flavor you decide to impart on your cheesecake. And then you've got that traditional tasting crust, or you've got your fabulous date coconut crust. All right, so we've got the lemon juice. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of our coconut milk. Now, this is an almond and coconut blend. Almonds really high in the vitamin E. Actually, I think I'm just going to put just a little bit more in there. And so we've got our heart health, we've got our rejuvenation of our cells coming to the surface more quickly, which is one of our most powerful anti-aging tools, isn't it? All right, so we've got everything in here. Let's go ahead and blitz it up. Be sure to stop and scrape down so that everything is really smooth and creamy. Remember, we don't want any kind of lump or particle or sandy feel on the palate. The one thing that's really beautiful about cheesecakes is how silky and creamy. So let's go ahead and make sure we're giving the diner that exact experience. One of the things that helps give the real creaminess and beautiful silkiness on the palate is the addition of a little bit of coconut oil. Now the coconut oil has got to be melted and at room temperature, or you're going to end up with little pearls of coconut oil if the mixture is cold. So our milk is at room temperature, and that way everything will emulsify perfectly, and that's one of your professional chef tips, is emulsification leads to creamy smoothness. So we need to blend while we're adding the oil. So let's go ahead and turn it on. We'll start low. And let's see where we are on the smooth scale, chefs. Oh boy, that looks good. That looks really creamy and silky, so I think we're there. Now, do you like peanut butter? Do you like chocolate? Do you have some raw cacao powder? Everything that you want to flavor with goes in now, unless you're going to do a topping. So let's look at what I'm talking about here. So these ones here, you can see that they've got the swirl of natural peanut butter on top, and I used a crunchy peanut butter because I really like texture. You've got the smoothness of the cheesecake batter itself, the crunchiness of the beautiful graham cracker crust, and I did some cacao nibs. Now remember, cacao activates stem cells. This is brand new research, chefs, and you're the first to know about it here in the Ageless Kitchen. So what I do is I make the base first and then divide it into 3 bowls or whatever you'd like, and then flavor each of the bowls, and then go ahead and top your finished crust that we did earlier. So here again, we've got cacao nib with peanut butter, we've got key lime pie, we've got French vanilla with fresh raspberries. This is called a tile roof design, where we've taken the very clean, no allergen chocolate chips and putting the minis on top there. So these 4 are plain here, and they're ready to receive a topping of your choice. A grilled pineapple topping, a dollop of lemon curd, some coconut whipped cream or shaved chocolate, and we could drizzle some white chocolate ganache over the raspberries. It's all up to you, chefs. You're in charge. And so you go ahead and flavor the batter any way you like. We've got tons of delicious medicine here. It all goes into the freezer for at least 2 hours. When you're ready, just bring the pan out, pop the cheesecakes out, top them with your sauces or your fruits, some fresh berries, and you are all set for a fabulous, really gourmet dessert that doesn't take long, and it's loaded with delicious medicine. Keep the blender motor running. We see that it's smooth, but if we just keep going another minute or 2, it's going to aerate the batter, and you're going to be amazed at how light and airy and creamy. It's almost like a cheesecake mousse. And one more thing. Here's a quick crust for you. So I've got these little mini cookies. They happen to be cinnamon sugar. We've got our parchment paper down like we did before. Here's 2 of our graham cracker ones that we did earlier. You just pop the cookie in flat side down. That way it'll plate level. And then we're just going to spoon our cream that we already made, the cashew cheesecake cream. Isn't it amazing to think that a nut could make something this creamy and light and delicious? No dairy here. So let's just fill that to the top, and then we could swirl some peanut butter in if we wanted. We could top it with some cinnamon apples. There's a whole lot of things we could do here. You could use a lemon cookie. Any flavor would be great. We're going to bang the pan, and back in the freezer it goes. Well, let's go ahead and take it to the plate, Chef, shall we? Let's bring up a beautiful little plate here, and we'll see what we've got. Let's pop out a peanut butter. And we'll just take the little parchment off. Oh, look at the crust. Isn't that beautiful? Let's get a raspberry one out. Parchment off of that, and we can always clean up the edges with your super clean hands, which are the best tools, aren't they, chefs? We can put a little chocolate tile roof there. Now remember, chefs, it's just going to take a couple minutes for these to thaw out. So just take them out just a couple minutes before you're going to serve them, and then plate them the way you like. And let's add a little color. We always want just, you know, some nice color around the plate. So we can add some fresh berries. You could do a chocolate sauce. We'd add just a tiny bit of mint here. And it really looks beautiful. It's simple elegance. So really just look at how beautiful but really powerful medicine here. And so you're gonna sit down and eat a lovely plate of this with your friends, and it's gonna make you feel better. How can that be? It's delicious medicine brought to you by the Ageless Kitchen. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. It's time for more delicious medicine. I'm Chef Tina Martini. Here's to your radiant health.
They're bite size?
They're bite size, yes, try one. Yeah, aren't they cute? Everyone loves them. Bite size.
Put the whole thing.
Yes, put the whole thing in your mouth. It's yummy.
That's good. And this one has a crunchy nib.
Yeah, it's got the cacao nib, so we're stimulating and activating his stem cells.
Peanut butter.
Okay, so that's the jungle peanuts. Yep, that's no aflatoxin.
You want a bite?
Yes, take a bite. Try it. You'll be surprised how good it is. It tastes like cheesecake, doesn't it?
Oh, that peanut butter is a winner. Oh, my.
Sorry, you don't get any.
Raspberry. That's key lime.